our topic, which is the domain, types, focus, advantages, limitations of performance-based assessment, and performance task and criteria. So, in communication skills, it enables the children or the student to share their thoughts or demonstrate their knowledge. Say, for example, writing an essay, interviewing, crafting a poem, and so on. While in psychomotor skills, it includes a physical movement or coordination. Say, for example, a step-by-step procedural activities. Next, we have concept acquisition and affective skills. In affective skills, it will show emotions or something like self-reliance or coordinates in group activity.
Types of performance-based assessment. The first one is the restricted response performance task. It is a performance task that is highly structured and with limited scope. It is more focused and limitations are always indicated. So there is always a limit of what a student should do. So for example, questions may begin with multiple choices or short answers, but then as a teacher, you will ask for explanation and justification, not just an answer itself. The next one is the extended response performance task. This is where full performance must be assessed. So this is less structured and broader in scope. It is complex, elaborate, and time-consuming. It often includes collaborative work with small group of students, and it requires use of variety of information. For example of this is the designing and conducting of experiment.
Focus of performance-based assessment. So when we talk about performance-based assessment, it can assess the process, product, or both process and product depending on the learning outcomes. It is also involves doing rather than knowing about the activity or task. So the teacher will assess the effectiveness of the process or the procedures and the product used in carrying out the instruction. So typically, the task challenges students to use their higher order thinking skills to create a product or complete the process according to June 2010. So the question is, when do we use the process? According to Groundland, use the process when there is no product, the process is orderly and directly observable, correct procedures or steps are crucial to later success, analysis of procedural steps can help in improving the product, and learning is at the early age. So when do we use the product? So according to Groundland, we use the product when different procedures result in an equally good product, procedures not available for observation, the procedures have been mastered already, and products have qualities that can be identified and judged.
There are 11 advantages of performance-based assessment, and the first one is assesses complex learning outcomes. From the word complex itself, there are a lot of integrated sets of learning goals. For example, is creating exam, assessing group work, and many more. The next one is assesses the process as well as the product. Process refers to how a learner went about completing a task or achieving an outcome, while the product is end result of a process. Third one is communicates instructional goals related to real-world context. Like for example, you're going to assess the skills and attitudes of the learners. And the fourth one is assesses progress as well as the performance. It can be happen before, during, and after the given assessment.
Involves the students in assessment process. Measures the students' ability to apply skills and knowledge learned from a unit or unit of study. Next is recognize that students can express. Students can express more in a performance-based assessment, and specify, direct, and understandable information are available to the parent of the students. Information about the topic are available for the parents.
Evaluates the whole student. Performance-based assessment measures students' ability to apply the skills and knowledge learned from a unit or study. Enhances the professional skills of the teacher. Performance-based assessment provides teachers more information about the learning needs of their students and enable them to modify their method to meet the needs of their students. Can establish a framework for observing the students. So with a performance-based assessment, teachers can set a framework to adhere to students. Can contribute to a meaningful curriculum planning and design of the educational inventions.
So let's discuss now the limitations of performance-based assessment. There are assessments that are administered to our children have certain drawbacks. such as limiting the teacher's ability to educate, especially for the test, and preventing the kids from learning outside of the test topic, as well as lowering the test perceived worth, what should. So, due to the planning and preparation required for the assessments, which would take time away from other courses, the exam might cost the teachers a lot of time.
Performance task provides students with an opportunity to demonstrate their ability to apply their knowledge and higher order thinking skills to explore and analyze a complex real-world scenario. Suggestion for constructing performance task. A. Focus on the learning outcome. B. Minimize the dependence of task performance on skills. C. Provide the necessary scaffolding, which is a process through which a teacher supports the students to enhance their learning. D. Construct task directions. E. Clearly communicate performance expectation.
The followings are the directions that should be used. The first one is congruent. It is an agreement to purpose of assessment to understand the structure of their assessment. The second one is elicits or to obtain or evoke behaviors at the level of stated in learning environment. The third one is authentic or real. The fourth one should give enough information and it should be accurate. The fifth one is the important outcomes that are assessed or evaluated by the students. And the last one is reflects or review intended learning outcomes or ILO.
Here are the different types of performance criteria. The first one is the impact of the performance. Performance assessment allows students to play an active role in the assessment process, which experts have found increases their engagements and in turn enhances their learning. Second, work quality and craftsmanship will help teachers gauge the level of student understanding and also provide instruction needed to move. Third is the adequacy of method and behavior. A behavioral assessment is an important tool that can be used to help identify natural strengths and weaknesses. Next, validity of content. If we want to determine whether our students meet the learning objectives of our course, we are considering content validity. Next, sophistication of knowledge. Having an understanding of the world and its ways and having an understanding of the way people behave,